So I work with wild bees in this context, looking at pesticide risk, pathogen risk, and the combination of the two, mainly in laboratory-based experiments. The interview itself, I don't remember anything because I was so nervous. I don't remember what I said, what anyone asked me, I can't tell you. And I was very sure that I made a terrible impression.
But still you got a PhD.
Yeah, so I guess it was good enough.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Palak Lakhani. In this channel, I make educational videos focusing mainly on studying, working and living in Germany. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. So as many of you requested that I should make a video related to biology field. So today we have with us Sara, who completed her Bachelors and Masters from Lund University in Sweden, and she is pursuing her PhD here in Martin Luther University of Halle, Wittenberg. So she will be telling us in detail about her PhD topic, and she will also be showing what she does in her PhD in short in a 2 minutes or 3 minutes video. So let's get quickly started with today's video, and let's ask Sara what she does in her PhD. Hi Sara, first of all, welcome to my channel.
Thank you.
And could you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yes, so my name is Sarah, I come from Sweden. I've been doing my PhD here in Germany for about 2 years now. And I work in a research project financed by the EU called PhD, where we look into the combination of stress factors on the risk of health to bees. So I work with wild bees in this context, looking at pesticide risk, pathogen risk, and the combination of the two, mainly in laboratory-based experiments.
Okay. My very first question will be that did you have any work experience in your bachelor's or master's degree that made you to apply for PhD?
Yes, in Lund University it was quite easy to get experience being a research assistant. You could each summer during my master's I would work in somebody's project collecting data or analyzing data. There was always this possibility, and you often could get paid for it as well. So it was like a very good side job to have in order to gain experience.
And do you think this helped you to get into a PhD?
I think that the work experience definitely helped, but what's most important is your master's project, I would say. If you have a master's project that shows that you know something related to the topic. I traveled to Peru to work on pollination of Brazil nuts for my master's project, and I think the fact that I had done a project on my own related to bee and pollination ecology helped me a lot in this case. Okay.
So now when we are talking about your master thesis, could you tell us a bit like how did you design your entire CV, and what were the contents of your CV that you think made a good impression on your PhD supervisor?
I actually spent a lot of time writing the cover letter and making the CV as nice as possible, and I'm glad I did. I included basically all work experience related to biology, which was what I've done as a research assistant, and also seasonal work as a forest inventory assistant. Which showed that I had a lot of field experiment or experience, and then I also wrote lengthier descriptions of my master's project. And I included all of this in my CV, both the work experience, the relevant courses I've taken, and a short description of my bachelor's and my master's project.
Okay.
All of this was in the CV part. And the cover letter then, that goes more into explaining what your previous experiences can bring to the current project. And it did overlap in some ways, in other ways not at all. I had never worked with pesticides before or anything like ecotoxicology related. So I instead emphasized that I was very interested in insect biology, in pollination ecology, that I had experience with gathering data on wild insects, that I had taken a big part in designing my own study in my master's. That I had been very independent, which I think is something that's valued in this group in particular. Because you work very independently here under Robert Paxton's supervision.
Great. How much do you think your percentage in master's degree is needed or is valuable in your PhD?
Do you mean the experience or the grade you get?
The grades.
Not so much. In Sweden, actually, you only have 2 grades.
Okay.
So
that's like 1 and 2, or?
It's more like you have fail and then you have good or very good.
Oh, okay.
So it's a very flat scale. Most people get very good. So
that was not a problem for you?
Okay.
Did you apply for PhD from Sweden? Did you already know about this group from your supervisor of your master thesis, or did you look into website of University Halle or maybe on DAAD website? How did you get to know about this?
I was looking a lot on Find a PhD, the website.
Okay.
I applied for one other position before this, and that position I found on that site. Whereas I don't even remember exactly how I found it, but I knew about this area. I knew about Leipzig. I was pretty certain I wanted to go to Germany, and also to be in this part of the country.
Okay.
And there is an institute in Leipzig, IDIB, which works with biodiversity research. And I was looking in there and to see if they had any positions. Then I also noticed that Robert Paxton, which is kind of a name that you find when you read a lot of bee biology papers, and he was like, oh, he's also in a group very close to here. So I was looking at what positions they had on offer, and
So you just like mailed them, or how does the application process go actually?
This was for a specific project that was already funded. So in this case, they had it announced on their website, and you could apply by sending an email with your cover letter and CV.
How much time did it take for them to give you a reply after you had applied?
It was very fast. I think I got a reply within 1 month. And then I went on an interview shortly after.
Was it a Skype interview or face-to-face interview?
Face-to-face interview, but Skype was also an option. But since it was relatively easy for me to travel here, I chose to do that, which I think you should if you have the opportunity. The interview itself, I don't remember anything because I was so nervous. I don't remember what I said, what anyone asked me, I can't tell you. And I was very sure that I made a terrible impression.
But still you got a PhD.
Yeah, so I guess it was good enough. I also asked if I could present make a short presentation for the group for my master thesis results. And I think that was also good. I think that was a good thing to do.
Maybe, yeah.
Because then they could see a bit more of me and see how I spoke and so on. So if you have that opportunity, I would recommend that as well. Which it may not be possible in all groups, but here it was.
Okay. Did you also get rejection from anywhere?
This was the second one I applied to, but I got rejected on the first one. But that was mainly because of being in the UK, and there it's often like you don't get funding if you are from outside of the UK.
So you have to self-fund your project.
Yeah. So then it was more like I'd rather try to find something that is funded already.
Okay. After the interview is done, do you get the reply on the same day, or it takes some time for the group to send you a reply?
I think it took about, it was less than a week.
Okay.
And then when I got the reply, I could also discuss and say like, oh, I can start first in a few months, and that was fine. So it was very easy in that sense.
So on the day of interview, what questions are you asked?
There was nothing about funding or salary or any of these technicalities. They were briefly introducing the project, because this can be very different depending on what kind of position you apply for, but this was already a pretty defined project from the EU, and there was the specific tasks basically that needed to be done by us from this university. So they asked me some question like, given this experimental problem, what would be a suggestion from you how to solve it? And you're supposed to come up with something there at the moment, and it's very hard. They ask about how you deal. They can make question like how you deal with stress, what kind of supervisor relationship you envision. The interview itself was pretty short. It was less. I think it was around 15-20 minutes.
Okay. As a PhD candidate, are you also obliged to take some courses for the master students, or you just have to do your lab work?
On this particular contract, no, I'm not obliged to take any courses.
Okay, so you just have to continue your lab work and complete your PhD within the given time, right?
Yes, or even not in the given time. From the EU project side, I have certain deadlines when I need to hand in certain reports or certain results. But in terms of me handing in the thesis, no, there's not a strict deadline. Which is why, what is it they say? The standard, the median time for German PhD students to finish is 4.5 years.
So that's not like any other country, it's a bit longer, I guess.
Yes.
How are the lab facilities here in MLU in the biology department? Do you like it?
I would say that it's very compartmentalized. Like, we don't interact a lot with other groups. Sometimes I wish we had more of these interactions, because we are quite we are here in our separate building. We have our separate lab with our equipment, and we mainly use that. I have sometimes reached when I need something. For example, now when I want to analyze some soil samples, I try to reach out to other groups. So I try to find somebody in the geology department, for instance, and try to make a contact there. But that is entirely up to you as a student.
So that depends upon you, what equipments you need. So you then contact other department. And then you just get your experiment done.
Yes.
Great.
But as I said, the one thing that I find in this, I think all of these things depend more on the group perhaps than the university, because the groups are very independent here. I get the feeling the supervisor has a lot of power over how things are organized and so on. We have a great technician, and we do have great equipment here.
So that was my question actually, that in terms of equipment or in lab facilities, do you think MLU has very good lab facilities or equipments? For example, if you need some equipment for your experiment, do you need to go somewhere else, or everything is available in MLU?
That also depends entirely on what you want to do. Here there is good facilities for molecular work. There's a lot of research in viruses in this particular group, so the infrastructure for doing that is here. But of course there are things where you would need to go to other places, but you are always free to make your own contacts.
So that's allowed?
Yes.
Great.
With the blessing of your supervisor.
Of course. Great. Thank you so much, Sarah, for this great introduction about yourself and your research project, and I hope it helps all of you who want to pursue your career in biology field. If you really like the video, then please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you still have any further doubts, feel free to leave them in the comment section below and we will try to answer them. So that's it for this video guys. See you in the next video. Till then, bye, take care and stay safe.